Professor tries to expose student. She exposes his 15 years of hypocrisy instead. You might want to choose an easier subject, Miss Lawrence, said Dr. Hammond, loud enough for everyone to hear. Not everyone is cut out for biochemistry. Naomi Lawrence, the only black student in the class, felt 200 eyes turn to her. Some students looked away, others chuckled nervously. The professor's meaning was clear. He didn't think she belonged in that room. Naomi, 22, had worked hard to get to Westridge University. She was the daughter of a cleaner and a bus driver. Her education was paid for with scholarships earned through years of top grades and dedication. She loved science, but none of that mattered in a moment like this. Answer the question, Miss Lawrence, Dr. Hammond continued. Or would you like to admit you're in over your head? Naomi stayed calm. She was used to being underestimated. But Dr. Hammond didn't know her secret. She had a genius-level IQ and a photographic memory. She sat straight and answered evenly. The CRISPR-Cas9 enzyme works like scissors. It uses a guide RNA to find the target DNA, then cuts at the exact spot. This allows scientists to edit genes. Dr. Hammond smirked. Very basic. Now explain the ethical issues in the Wong et al. Study on editing human embryos. Page 834 of Nature Biotechnology, Volume 87. A trap. That article wasn't required. He'd only mentioned it once, weeks ago. But Naomi began speaking again, clearly with confidence. The Wong study presents 3 main ethical concerns. First, embryos can't give consent. Second, it may create inequality if only the rich can afford gene editing. Third, it could affect future generations in unpredictable ways. Page 837 also warns that changing genes without global discussion may be dangerous. Dr. Hammond blinked. Then Naomi added more. The article also quotes Garcia and Patel's research, which says delaying new treatments also has an ethical cost. The class was completely silent. Naomi had just quoted the article word for word, including the references, something no ordinary student could do. Trying to recover, Dr. Hammond said sharply, "You just memorized articles. That's not the same as understanding them." He gave her a made-up bioethical problem about a village with a rare disease. "Would you test experimental treatments on children who can't consent?" he asked with a smug smile. Naomi calmly replied, "That question assumes only 2 choices. But according to Harrington's ethics model, researchers should educate the community first. Partner with local leaders, then begin slowly with consent and constant monitoring." Dr. Hammond tried to interrupt, but Naomi quoted from page 47 of Harrington's paper, "The Greatest. Ethical mistake is thinking people are too simple to understand, when in fact we fail to give them the chance." This time, other students started whispering. Some smiled. Dr. Eliza Chun, an ethics professor in the room, took notes as she watched. Flushed and angry, Dr. Hammond ended the class early. "Miss Lawrence, stay behind," he ordered. Other students whispered, "He's furious." But Naomi stayed calm. Before leaving, a girl named Zoe invited her to join some others at a cafe. Naomi nodded, unsure what the meeting was about. When Naomi entered Dr. Hammond's office, he closed the door and spoke low and cold. "I don't know what your goal is here, but you're just a diversity student. You got in thanks to a quota, and no amount of memorizing will make you smart enough to challenge me." Naomi stood tall. "You said my grade depends on your subjective opinion. That sounds like a warning." He smirked. "Exactly." But Naomi had already started planning. That evening at the cafe, a group of students gathered with Zoe. One was from the student newspaper, with a hidden audio recorder. Dr. Chun soon joined them too. They had all seen the unfair treatment and wanted to help. A week later, Dr. Hammond led a master class in the university's large auditorium. He hadn't expected Naomi to attend. But as he started speaking about his own work in ethics, Naomi raised her hand. She reminded him of one of his older published papers, where he said the exact opposite of what he was now teaching. Murmurs filled the room. Naomi pulled out a folder. "I've collected your contradictions," she said. "You change your beliefs to impress funders. You also grade minority students more harshly." The doors opened. The university dean and ethics committee had arrived, warned in advance by Naomi's team. Naomi had sent them proof of everything, including the recording of Hammond's threats. Dr. Hammond turned pale. Students began to clap, slowly at first, then louder. 3 weeks later, the university fired Dr. Hammond. The news spread fast. Zoe showed Naomi the newspaper, top professor removed for discrimination. She was offered a full scholarship and a place in a doctoral program. But Naomi didn't want only rewards. "What about the others who were unfairly failed before me?" she asked. The university started a full review. Students who had been pushed out were being contacted. Naomi became a voice for change, not just for her memory or intelligence, but for her courage. At a national ethics conference, Hammond approached her quietly. "You ruined my career." "No," replied Naomi, calm and steady. "You did that yourself. I just remembered what you said," and had the courage to repeat it.